What's up, Moxie? HomeWOD day number 64. We've got our last Moxie Mania at home kind of classic CrossFit workout going down today. It's called Thrasher. It's a 12-minute clock that opens with 100 dumbbell hang clean and jerks as your buy-in. And then from there, we're gonna work through an AMRAP in the time that remains on those 12 minutes of 50 double unders and 15 goblet squats with that same dumbbell we used on the hang clean and jerks, right? This is gonna be a burner because it's really gonna require that you're able to move consistently over the entirety of these 12 minutes to really get a good score, okay? Now, a few things that I think are worth thinking about here. Number one is the buy-in, okay? This doesn't count towards your score. You don't get to count this as an extra 100 reps that you did. The only thing that it's doing is delaying your start of those double unders and goblet squats, which is gonna be your end score. Now, what we wanna be thinking about here on these hang clean and jerks is how we can get through them as efficiently as possible without taking away from my ability to do those double unders and those goblet squats. And I think the thing to realize here is that my hang clean and jerk speed is gonna be more or less the same regardless of how fast I try to move. So let's not try to sprint through these hang clean and jerks, like pulling the dumbbell down from that overhead position to try to start that next rep. Just find a smooth and sustainable pace where you can link lots of reps together. We want to minimize the time that the dumbbell spins on the ground, okay? Now, once we get through those hang clean and jerks, we have our double unders and our goblet squats. These are two movements that when we're fresh, we're not gonna have to really stop on these. But as we get progressively more fatigued, we might find that it's really tempting to take breaks. But where we do that matters. I don't think we should take breaks on the goblet squats because I'm gonna have to set that dumbbell down. And once I set that dumbbell on the ground, I have to pick it back up. And that's just a mental block. It's gonna take more time and it's just a little bit disheartening to set that dumbbell down during a set of goblet squats. So let's try to keep those squats unbroken every single round. However, the double unders are a much easier place to break. And in fact, it would be better to take calculated, intentional breaks on the double unders, whether that's 2 sets to accumulate your 50 or 3 sets, rather than to start tripping as you get fatigued, getting frustrated, and beat down because you're not able to link those reps together the way that you'd like to, all right? So if we find ourselves getting fatigued, keep those goblet squats unbroken, but take calculated breaks on those double unders. Know what that's gonna be for you and keep those consistent, especially as you get fatigued, all right? Now the other stuff that we have going on today is some hang snatch work, kind of finish out our day, and hopefully continue to refine our snatch mechanics. We spent a lot of time talking about how we move whenever we're snatching. We've talked about overhead position in the overhead squat. We've talked about foot position, right? Whenever we're pulling and when we're landing. And we've talked about our torso angle whenever we're pulling off the ground, all right? Those are all things that we want to keep in mind here. There's obviously a lot to think about with the snatch. But whenever we're going through our stuff today, let's not forget about those things. So our complex is simple. It's every 2 minutes for 5 sets. We're gonna do 1 pausing high hang snatch, where we're gonna spend 3 seconds at the bottom of that overhead squat. And then we have 2 low hang snatches. That's gonna start as close to the ground as I can without actually letting the bar touch the ground, okay? Now the priority here on the high hang snatch is to work speed under the bar, all right? It's really easy for us sometimes just kind of jump the weight up and then kind of let it float and I'll get down to the bottom of my squat position. Sure, I do that fast, but I'm not intentionally trying to move the bar quickly. Let's avoid that today. Let's be aggressive. Once we hit that jump, actually trying to kind of pull ourselves down and then punching that bar to overhead as quickly as possible. It's going to allow me to really improve my mechanics and it's going to translate over really well to heavier loads where I don't have the luxury of moving at like a relaxed pace, if you will, to get to the bottom of that overhead squat. And then on those low hang snatches, let's take the lessons that we learned this past Friday when we worked on our snatch pulls and really try here to activate those hamstrings a little bit more than maybe we ordinarily would, but keep the hips and shoulders rising at the same rate. We don't want to see that the butt stays super high here. We still want to drop those hips down and then really focus on keeping that torso angle consistent until we initiate that jump to get the weight to overhead. Let's keep the weights overall lighter today, guys. 55 to 65% of our snatch max, no heavier for sure than 65%, okay? Get after this stuff today, guys. Enjoy it, and I'll talk to you guys